Stop and think about the narcissist in your life as a cult leader, only there is no formal organization. Just you and him. He is manipulating you. Now, he has other victims, but they're not organized, or she has other victims. So he lures you in the same way a cult does and manipulates you the same way a cult does. He is the puppeteer, she is the puppeteer, and you are the puppet. So what are those strings that he or she attaches to you? Again, just like a cult. So we want to know specifically what are those strings so we can detach them one on one, and we've got 8 of them. So string number 1 is this: superficial praise. And when we say superficial, we mean this is not genuine, but it seems like it is. But it's just superficial, it's just on the surface. So the first thing this one-on-one cult leader will do, this narcissist will do, is he will heap praise on you. You'll think you're the greatest guy on earth, according to him or according to her. And you know, you like people to see your strong side. You like people to see what you are good at doing, that you can have positive affirmation. And the narcissist, the covert narcissist, gives you that. But what he is actually doing, what the narcissist is actually doing, is attaching that first string to you so he can begin pulling those strings and manipulate you. This is just the beginning, but you think, yeah, we have chemistry, very agreeable. I like this guy. Now, have you ever, and I'm sure you have, eaten some food that tasted really good and you wanted more of it? It's one of the reasons we tend to put on weight, right? So you have a potato chip. I like that. So you have another one. I like that. So you have another one. Well, why do you do that? Because it tastes good. It makes you feel good. It releases dopamine, I guess. Well, the narcissist is attaching a string to that part of your brain where he or she feels good, or he or she taste good to you. So you want to keep going back for more. That is the first string. String number 2 is this: after they've got you hooked that first time, now the second string is they become your good friend or your best friend forever. You know, your BFF. They use the BF, what I call the BFF tactic. So the first time the focus was exclusively on you. Now the focus is on you and the narcissist. So you feel good about that string being attached. You don't stop and think of it as being a string because you just assume you are attached to each other. Not so. The string is attached to you, but it's not attached to the puppeteer. It's not attached to the narcissist. He can pick up the string or put it down anytime he or she wants to. But still, nonetheless, you are attached, but you don't get it. But at least we don't get it at this point. But your will to move and think is being controlled or is controllable by the narcissist. And then he begins to attach, or she begins to attach, that third string, which is obligation, or a sense of obligation. Number 3, 4, and 5 are part of the same polling tactic, but number 3 is obligation. So now you're no longer just attached to the narcissist string, but you feel obligated to comply. The narcissist will remind you how good he or she was to you, and they evoke this sense of you owe me in your mind so that you want to comply to the narcissist because you have this sense of obligation. Number 4 is if you don't, well, then they heap guilt on you. So the essence is, you know, the narcissist pulls your string, and if you don't comply, well, you let me down. You know, the narcissist will say something to the effect, or at least give you the impression that, that you tricked him. You know, he was attaching these strings to you and you let him, so obviously you were complicit, right? And now you're not complying? What's wrong with you? You know, the problem is you, not the narcissist. At least that's the way he or she approaches it. So number 5 is he or she will use the shock tactic. And that is to say, he or she will say, I just can't believe that you would betray me. You're not letting me pull your string. And at this point, you don't realize it's a puppeteer-puppet relationship. So you don't let me pull your string. Well, I can't believe you do that to me because we had this implicit agreement. Now, you didn't agree to anything. Well, maybe you did. Verbally or nothing signed in writing, unless you're married and you got a marriage certificate. But even that's not a puppeteer-puppet relationship. But, yeah, they're shocked because, you misled them. That's the way they present it. Number 6 is they began doing put-downs. They began invalidating you. So this is where the superiority of the narcissist or the puppeteer really comes into focus. Because you are so dumb. And I've never heard a narcissist say that verbatim. I've never heard a narcissist say, you're really stupid. But sometimes they do. But they will give you that feeling that they are superior, or at least they want you to have that feeling that they are superior intellectually as far as, just about anything you can think of. They're always better at it than you are, even though they're not. Well, not only is he or she putting you down, and sometimes they humiliate you in front of others, but at the same time, you're beginning to see that, okay, there's a crack in this vessel. I mean, this is not what I signed up for. So you're realizing maybe there's something amiss here, particularly. Let's say that you're at work and the covert narcissist begins humiliating you in front of others. Now, the other people may or may not humiliate you as well, because now you've been branded as the guy that is to be a doormat. When it comes to getting a promotion and the supervisor or whoever does the promoting views you as a doormat, someone to be run over, guess who is not getting promoted? So you can see how damaging this actually is. Number 7 is intimidation or threat. So the narcissist will begin to tell you that you must comply, or at least give you the impression that you must comply or else. What could they possibly use? I mean, what could they possibly say about you that would be damaging that they could say, you comply with me or else? Well, go all the way back to step number 1. Remember when they were luring you in and you were being very open with your best friend? Number 2. That is where he or she collects the damning information. Now, some cults actually do this on purpose. They do it by design. They will bring new members in. They will survey them. They will present it as counseling. And to help the person, they need to hear their deep, dark secrets. The things they did that were harmful, stupid, okay. Once that's done, the cult has a cachet of your badness. So if you don't march in step, they're going to use this against you. That's what the narcissist is doing. Now, basically it's the same thing as a cult tactic, only it's a one-on-one. Number 8, the final string is rage. And a lot of times the narcissist will, first of all, he will think that you are so much in his control that he can or she can at will rage and scream at you. Now, when someone gets to that point where they can abuse you, sometimes even physically, but they can just rage at you. Like a mad dog, like a rabid dog, and no compunction whatsoever. They just do it. That is just a huge red flag that you are totally ensnared. You're all stringed up. All 8 strings are attached to the narcissist. It's time to start cutting those strings and getting away. This is codependency, because what's happening is, you remember, this is the nice guy. This is my best friend. And now he's raging at me. I must be doing something wrong. So I need to get back and resolve whatever is making him rage so I can get back in his or her good favor. And sometimes that works, but not for long, because it's cyclical. It just goes over and over and over again. The only way to get rid of this is to cut the strings completely and resolve the issue. See those 2 rectangles on the screen? If you like what you hear, let's keep on going. All you got to do is click one of those 2 rectangles. The conversation will continue, but if not, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see y'all next time.